What's up, guys? It's the FixBroz. Today we're back at the shop and let's go look at the progress with the Civic. We are pretty much done with the body filler right here. It's all done. It's all back to its shape, but there's still a few little spots that we just added some body filler today. But right now we're gonna prep the paint to prime it. You always want to remember that whenever you put primer or paint anything, you have to blow all the dust off. So let's blow the dust off with an air compressor. So I've taped this around. It's really simple. Just got to make sure there's no holes so that it wouldn't leak the primer outside the area. Sanded it with the scuffing pad to a matte finish. Now you always want to make sure there's no dust in there, so just blow it out.
So you're probably wondering what we're doing here right now. Basically, all we're doing is putting a sheet over the car to cover the areas we don't want primer to go on. Because you'll see further on in the video how the primer just flies around the whole area, so you don't want the primer to get on the parts like the roof or the windows.
Now we're going to be using this paint degreaser to degrease the surface that we're going to be priming.
Check that out. Super dirty.
So everything's looking awesome. Everything's prepped for the primer. As you can see, the bumper here. Found a couple spots that we need to prime. Store. So let's get the primer mixed and then we can start spraying. Here at my mad scientist laboratory, we got the primer. And this primer says 4 parts of primer, 1 part of activator, and 2 parts of this reducer, this goof reducer. So let's start by adding 4 parts of primer. Right over here we got 4 parts of primer. Then we're going to have to add 1 part of this activator and 2 parts of this reducer. First, let's open up the primer and grab our stick. Mix the primer up really, really well. Okay, now I finished mixing the primer. Now we have to add 4 parts of primer. So there was barely enough primer. It's almost at the 4 mark, but that's fine. We could just add a little bit less activator and a little bit less reducer. Now you will want to grab your activator, shake it really, really well, and then grab your tool that you're using to open the can. Open the can. And once you got your can open, you can pour activator up to the 5 line. Let's pour it. So that's just about enough. So now I have to add this goof reducer, as I like to call it, 2 parts of this. So we have to add this to the 7 line. Okay, that's good. Now we close our reducer, and now we can mix our primer solution. Now we grab our gun and our strainer, place it here. You use the strainer to make sure that no dirt comes with the primer. You have to pour about half the gun so that it's not completely full. No, it doesn't get dirty. Now this is strained. You can place it right here and close up our gun. Now all we have to do is connect it to the air compressor and start spraying. But before we do that, there's a really important step that you should never forget. Is these masks. They're really important. You could die if you don't use them. You just put it on. Of spraying. This is what we got. Some people can actually spray a car with primer, put it together, and drive it like this, but practically it's done. If we want to, we can put it together, but we want to paint it, and we're going to do that. So right now, what I'm going to do is this paint here, spray paint. What I'm going to do is put drops of paint, just light drops of paint like that, over to see, when we're standing, to see how far we. So that's it. The primer's all finished. The black can, for some reason, stopped working, so we got blue paint and put it on. Practically it's done, but not done yet. We need to take off all the tape around, and then we'll need to let it dry, and for at least 3 days. Now we can come here and start sanding it, and then we'll spray paint over that. So that's when we're gonna come back. So we're now gonna take off all the tape. So we have taken all of the wrappings off the car, and it didn't really turn out the way we were trying to do it, because this was our first time priming the car. There's like a few drips all over, like over here, as you guys can see. The primer was too liquidy and it was running a lot, and also was really cold, and that was another reason it was running. So it didn't really turn out the way we were trying to do it, but we're gonna fix all this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and before we go, I want to tell you guys, if you buy our merch, it goes towards the builds, this project, Civic, and other cars we're gonna be getting in the future. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to drop a like. If you're not a subscriber, press that subscribe button right over here, and we'll see you guys next time.